To Thriving in the AI Era, a human-centered approach for professionals with Trager. Whether you love AI or wonder what it all means for jobs and humanity, it's time to think about what skills we need to develop to thrive in this brave new world. How does this technological shift redefine leadership? Where do we add value in this new equation? Drawing from N's expertise in expanding human potential and her work as an executive performance coach, this interactive session will explore what human strengths and skills we can leverage and grow as we work more and more with AI. Thank you, Anne, for joining.
Hello, I'm really happy to be here. I am very honored to be in such a high level and dynamic group of speakers, and I'd like to thank WITI for the opportunity to do that. I am going to get started here, and we get to talk about thriving in an AI era. So what does that mean? Well, so the other day I was talking with one of my clients, and he is a CTO in a really vast international corporation. And he told me something that really sparked my interest. Okay, he said, I am not worried about people who will use AI. If you use it, you can shape it. And then he goes on and he says, I am worried about those who won't use it. So what he put his finger on was something that is really crucial, in my opinion, and that's the people, okay? The notion of people, because AI will only be as good as the people who use it, okay? Whether you love AI or you wonder what it all means for jobs and humanity, let's take a moment here today to really look at how we can consider these people, the people in the equation, the human aspect of our organizations, before we go into some of the more technical aspects. We can look at also how we as individuals, what we can do to keep adding value in this new landscape. And perhaps as well, we can look at how AI can help us to become more human. Last week, I had some people over for dinner, and you're going to say, what does this have to do with AI? Well, you will see, okay? So the doorbell rang, and one of the guests brought this really beautiful bouquet of flowers, okay? I hummed and hawed over it as I brought it into the kitchen. I mean, it was really, really very exquisite. And then a timer went off. Okay, so you can just imagine, I got this bouquet, the timer went off, the starter was ready, the doorbell then rang, and another guest had arrived. So I dropped the flowers in a vase, and then I went about with my evening. And the next day I came down, and I was really sad because I saw that the flowers had already started to wilt, because in the flurry of all that excitement, I had forgotten to put water in the vase. And this experience, to me, mirrors what many of us are experiencing in organizations right now. The doorbell keeps ringing with all of these beautiful AI bouquets with incredible capabilities, the chat GPTs, the automated workflows, the predictive analytics. But in our excitement about these powerful new tools and the dinging of everyday timers, we sometimes are forgetting to put to water the very, very fundamental human infrastructure that needs to be in place for any of it to truly work effectively. This is what my client was talking about. We are on this really exciting bandwagon, watching and using AI to transform business and life as we know it. The advances are astounding. The changes are rapid. And yes, the confusion and the resistance and the fear are very real in organizations. I recently listened to Delphine Zaria, who's a senior partner at McKinsey & Company, and she was talking in this podcast about the adoption of AI in various industries. And she mentioned that successful AI adoption really, really hinges on prioritizing people-related things like change management and reskilling, as well as adapting processes and of course, the technological implementation. So successful AI implementation requires trust and collaboration with technology providers who are people, with business leaders who are people, and with employees who are people. It requires a shared commitment to experimentation and iteration and learning from failures. So how do we do this? What are the skills that we all need to be developing right now to make this transition happen, and more importantly, to thrive while we are at it? Let's start by understanding what it actually means to thrive and flourish. Because this is what we humans are really all after when it comes down to it. Okay, and according to both scientists and philosophers, thriving and flourishing is not at all about going faster and doing more. So all of those things that AI can help us do. What thriving means for us human beings is a feeling of life satisfaction, of having an interest in what we are doing, of having caring relationships and a sense of meaning and achievement. We also love to feel competent in what we do. So this is very cool, because when AI starts taking over all these routine tasks, we have more capacity to invest in deeper relationships and to engage in more meaningful work and to achieve things that truly matter. That's really exciting. So AI can help us to be more human. That is, if we feel competent at what we are doing, okay? If we are not afraid for our livelihood, or if we simply don't forget how to do these human things because we are so fascinated by all the new bells and whistles. Or perhaps we get so used to relating to a machine that doesn't challenge us emotionally. What this means is that we really need to actually put some attention to the people skills, starting now. Okay? So what skills am I talking about? As AI progressively facilitates or takes over the work that we closely identify with our own personal identity. Obviously, we need technical proficiency in AI. That's important because we need to feel competent. We said earlier, this is part of thriving, is feeling competent. We also need to focus on a number of human-centric soft skills, which I've broken down into 4 categories. So the first is really a focus on human connection. Okay? The successful integration of AI into our lives and work depends on building trust, first of all, between humans and machines. And so that's not something we're going to go into here. Techies, I leave it up to you. Humans trust machines when they work. Okay, so let's make AI that works. Okay, that will help. But we also need to build trust among individuals and organizations. Human connection is the foundation of trust and collaboration. We build this with transparency. We build this by fostering psychological safety in our teams. We build this by strengthening our emotional intelligence. Emotions and stress remain very human challenges. Okay, and the more we develop empathy, and the more we develop this ability to understand our emotions and regulate our emotions, this will help us to navigate the fears that are arising in the workplace right now. And emotional intelligence is really something that humans do well. I mean, reading a room, managing conflicts, building genuine relationships, finding balance, and even using stress to our advantage are superpowers that we can develop right now, because we are way ahead of AI on those. And as leaders, what we can do is we can model these skills, and we can model being present, and we can model emotional intelligence. We can shift the focus to the power of human connection. We can practice empathy. We can listen closely to teams and stakeholders and understand their needs. So that's the aspect of focusing on human connection. The second set of skills are around embracing adaptive leadership. So as the pace of change continues to increase and the unexpected continues to happen all the time, the ability to decide when and how best to pivot strategies is going to become more and more crucial. We have faster data-driven insights, and this allows us to focus on higher level strategic thinking. So high level strategic thinking is a really, really important skill right now for all of us to really develop. Along with the ability to a more tactical, vision, a more tactical kind of thinking, which is this ability to clearly define the problems we aim to solve with AI before looking for the solutions, and then reevaluating existing processes and identifying areas where AI can streamline workflows. That too will be important. And then focusing our attention in on the very human insights that we can bring by questioning assumptions and considering multiple perspectives and making judgment calls in ambiguous situations, developing long-term visions and imagining long-term implications. These are skills we can continue to develop and strengthen that will complement the use of AI. And they will help us to embrace the change, okay, to not only stay informed and of the advancements and implications, but also to lead the change, to budget change management alongside technological investments so that we can bring the people along with us, okay, along with the technology. This means open communication and active listening and influencing in a collaborative approach. By clearly communicating how AI is being used, we will alleviate fears and promote understanding. By being transparent about benefits and limitations of AI, we can foster trust and encourage adoption. With a collaborative approach, we can empower people to shape its use, as the aforementioned CTO said. And as leaders, we can model this adaptability and we can model resilience, the ability to bounce back when things don't go exactly the way you want, or to actually go towards the challenges that we are all facing right now. That was the second one. The third area then is to focus on meaning making, okay? So as AI can free us up from the mundane tasks and allow us to focus on more meaningful and creative endeavors, which is extraordinary because humans excel at innovative thinking. So we can open up spaces for creativity, okay, which is paramount to meaning making. And it's really, the meaning making is so important for human beings. Our teams need to understand the why behind adoption. But more than that, there's a notion of mattering. People really need to feel that they matter. Feeling valued it really contributes to individual well-being, and adding value or making a contribution is a prerequisite for a meaningful life. So the invitation then is to connect technological changes to a broader purpose. It's not just about shortening timelines. If those shorter timelines will help save lives, you'll have a much better story to tell about your AI and a lot more enthusiasm for any AI project. So in the final area of soft skills then is about a commitment to continuous learning. As AI becomes more and more prevalent, we are all going to have to be willing to reskill permanently, constantly, okay, and acquire new knowledge to remain relevant. This means staying really curious and embracing the challenges and viewing learning as an ongoing process. It means staying curious both about the technology and about human dynamics, which are going to be changing. It means developing a growth mindset that is encouraging experimentation and learning from failure. It means developing talent in organizations because of the importance of people in the equation. And additionally, it also means building a strong support network like we have here at WITI, okay, which allows us to deepen our curiosity and to hone our ability to ask probing questions and to play with what if thinking and uncover insights. Okay? to look at what's becoming obsolete and what's becoming more valuable. So these are the human capabilities, our ability to connect with others, to adapt, to find meaning, and to be curious. These are the foundations that we need to keep in mind. You know, the water to put in the vase to keep the flowers so they bloom longer. And how well we do these will determine how effectively we can leverage AI. The question that I'd like to put forth to all of you is, how are we showing up as humans to shape this change? There's a French author, and I will finish on this. The French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wrote, "As for the future, your task is not to foresee it, but to enable it." So I ask you, how are you enabling this future for your fellow humans? So thank you very much, and I'm happy to answer any questions, although I believe I may be at the end of my time.
We still do have a few minutes, and thank you so much. Amazing. And we look forward to you're such a valuable part of the WITI community coming in for France, teaching us all so much of your knowledge and wisdom, not just the AI piece, right? But I think the humanity piece is so important. If
Thank you,
anybody has
David.
any questions, sure. You're welcome to put them in the chat, or you can or Anne will be around too. I mean, it is getting kind of late in France. We do have the networking cafe that'll open at 10. So breakout rooms and connecting with each other and that type of thing. Thank you, Anne. And I will ask, as far as, I'd love to ask just on your personal journey. I think, we've had conversations about it just really getting intense since ChatGPT came out and you started participating in our think tanks that we have every week. From a well-being standpoint, have you changed some things to really stay sane in this? I feel like things have been very dense. We can do a lot more with less using the AI tools, I think, as we really educate the community on using them. But any tips you'd give everybody?
Well, and it comes back to what I was saying, is that personally, what I have found is that it's really, really easy to get really excited about all of this, and then to sort of drift away from some of the more important, not more important, some of the otherly important things, like how are we interacting with other people. I think that this ability to interact with a machine in a seemingly anthropomorphic way is actually very different than interacting with another human being. So it's brought my attention to the fact that it is actually very different, and that I want to do both, okay? But I want to do them differently because people are not machines, and people are extraordinarily important for our own well-being.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Well, Anne, thank you so much. I'm sure you'll be around, like I said, at the conference. And now let me get the ready.
Okay. So I guess I leave from here and I come back.
No, you can hear. Yeah, here. Actually, I will.
Oh, you just disappear me.
I'm going to put you back in. And have a great rest of the conference. Thank you.